Imagine waking up one day and realizing your dreams aren't just chaotic images. They are a secret language your own soul is using to show you what's blocking you from finding your purpose, your true love, or your inner peace. What if I told you that mastering this language is the key not only to healing your own life, but also to becoming part of a global awakening that's already happening? For decades, a humble, uneducated man named Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet, claimed exactly this. He said that within every dream lies a map that points directly to your soul, to your chakras, and even to the future of humanity. But here's the shock. Cayce didn't see dreams just as personal symbols. He saw them as collective portals, and he believed that when humanity's third eye awakens, human history itself will change forever. But there's a warning. The forces that want to keep humanity asleep are more powerful than you think. And if you don't know what to look for, you might be tricked into thinking that what's happening to you is just a coincidence. This video will change the way you look at your dreams forever, because the journey to your true freedom begins in the darkness of the night. To understand this prophecy, we first have to understand the messenger. Edgar Cayce was born in 1877 in rural Kentucky, a simple country boy who dropped out of school in the 8th grade. He wasn't a guru, an intellectual, or a mystic. He was a photographer, yet he had a unique and extraordinary ability to enter a deep trance, lie on a couch, and answer any question put to him. Thousands of readings, as he called them, were recorded. He diagnosed medical illnesses with astounding accuracy, prescribed natural cures for supposedly incurable conditions, and spoke of the human body as if he had read the universe's own owner's manual. People traveled from all over the world to see him. He explained the soul's inner workings, described past lives, and even anticipated major social and geological changes. The most bizarre part? He did it all while sleeping. He had no memory of what he said. But of all his readings, there was one recurring theme, a constant drumbeat that linked everything he ever said: the connection between dreams, chakras, and spiritual evolution. This wasn't just a side topic for Cayce. It was the master key. It was the central pillar of his entire body of work. He believed that the human soul was on a journey of spiritual development, and dreams were the secret classroom where we received our most important lessons. He said we have to understand that we are not just physical bodies. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And every night, when our physical bodies rest, our spiritual selves travel and communicate. We get messages from what he called the Akashic Records, a universal library of all knowledge. It's in this state that our souls speak to us directly. But how do you decipher a language that has no words? That's where the chakras come in. For Cayce, dreaming wasn't a waste of time. It was the most direct form of communication with the divine. Every image, every symbol, every person who appears in a dream is a message. But these aren't just messages to solve small, everyday problems. No. He said dreams were a universal code for waking up the energy centers of the human being, the chakras. So, how do you speak this language? According to Cayce, the symbols are a universal code for waking up your energy centers, your chakras. Here are a few symbols you've probably already had in your dreams and what they could mean. Water. If you dream of clear, flowing water, it's a call for emotional purification. But if the water is dirty, chaotic, or you're drowning in it, it's your soul showing you a blockage in your emotional center, your sacral chakra. Fire. Fire is about transformation and willpower. A dream with a controlled flame might be your solar plexus chakra waking up, telling you your personal power is increasing. But a dream of being burned or a house on fire, that's a powerful warning about unresolved anger or emotional burnout. Light or eyes. This is a direct message to your pineal gland, your third eye. When you see flashes of light, a single eye, or vivid colors in a dream, it's your soul saying, pay attention. The veil is getting thin. Your intuition is expanding, and you're beginning to see beyond the physical world. But here's the most mind-bending part. Cayce said that as humanity evolved, these symbols would stop being just individual messages and start to become collective experiences. Imagine everyone dreaming of a great flood or a new sun. It wouldn't just be a personal message. It would be a shared premonition, a collective vision. Cayce spoke frequently about the pineal gland. He called it the portal between the human and the divine. Today, science confirms part of this. The pineal gland produces melatonin, regulates biological rhythms, and in certain animals is sensitive to light. But Cayce went beyond biology. He said the pineal gland was a dormant crystal that, when awakened, connected us to other dimensions. And here's the forgotten prophecy. Cayce said the third eye wouldn't just be individual, but collective. When enough of us managed to awaken, humanity's consciousness itself would make a quantum leap. He described a future where dreams and visions would become common, where we would see, through the veil of matter, a world where the spiritual and the physical would no longer be separate. He saw the third eye not just as a physical organ, but as the focal point of the human soul. He believed that when this spiritual organ was fully awakened, we would gain not just psychic abilities, but a direct connection to universal truth. We would be able to know the true nature of reality without needing dogmas or books. Does this sound like science fiction? Maybe. But think about it. How many people today report near-death experiences, premonitory dreams, or altered states of consciousness? Isn't this spiritual awakening already underway? We are seeing more and more people reject old religious systems and search for a direct, personal spiritual experience. Maybe this is Cayce's prophecy unfolding before our eyes. Cayce affirmed that dreams worked as secret teachers for our chakras. Every night, your soul is giving you a report card. You are being trained. Your soul is being instructed in an ancient language where each symbol corresponds to a door in your own energetic body. Dreaming of flying isn't just a fantasy. It's your soul testing the limits of your crown chakra, telling you that your consciousness is ready to expand. It's an invitation to go higher. Dreaming of climbing stairs or a mountain. That's the powerful Kundalini energy rising through your spine, a sign that you are making real spiritual progress and shedding old limitations. And a dream of being in a prison or a locked room? That's the clearest sign of a blocked root chakra, holding you back with fear and insecurity. But it's also your soul's way of saying, there is a way out. This is a problem you can solve. Cayce said that if we learn to interpret these codes, we could accelerate our spiritual evolution without depending on gurus or institutions. And here's where the most dangerous part comes in. He warned that organized religions would do everything to hide this truth. Because if every human being had direct access to the divine through their dreams, who would need a middleman? Who would need to be told what to believe? They would lose their power. In his readings, Cayce spoke of a new era, a time of drastic changes on Earth and in human consciousness. He saw this not as a distant event, but as a painful, messy, and glorious birth happening in our lifetime. He predicted the collapse of certain political and religious systems and the rise of a new kind of spirituality based not on dogma, but on direct, personal experience. According to Cayce, this new era would begin when the collective third eye of humanity opened. And when that happened, three things would change forever. Death would lose its fear, because everyone would begin to have direct contact with the soul and with past lives, realizing that life is a continuous journey. Science and spirituality would unite. The energy, vibration, and subtle fields that science currently dismisses would finally be accepted as real, verifiable facts. We would begin to use spiritual principles to heal and build our world. Humanity would remember its true purpose, not power, not competition, but the remembrance of our divine nature. We would see each other not as separate individuals, but as parts of a single, interconnected consciousness. But a warning. Cayce said this awakening would not be peaceful. Like a birth, it would come with pain, crises, and immense resistance. The old world would fight to keep the new one from being born. And now for the inevitable question. What does this have to do with you, sitting here right now? According to Cayce, every dream you have is a training session. Every night, your soul is sending you messages to unlock your own third eye. It's your personal invitation to accelerate your evolution. Don't ignore it. Don't say, it was just a weird dream. Write it down, reflect on it. Look for the symbols, because perhaps that seemingly unimportant detail, the water, the light, the mountain, the prison, is your secret invitation to accelerate your evolution. And remember, if Cayce's prophecy is correct, the awakening of humanity depends on people like you. People who don't run from the mystery, but dive into it. Humanity is on the brink of a collective awakening. But the question is, are you ready to join it? The dreams you have tonight aren't just rehearsals, they are your final initiation. And your first test is simple. If this video resonated with you, it's not by accident. This might be your own personal call. Subscribe now, because we're just getting started. And for those who don't join us, they might never wake up.